Hey, I should be live. Welcome back. Anybody here? Let's get started. Take a sip. Welcome back to Super Chat Fridays. How is it going? 2 p.m. Central European Time, beaming to you live from Brussels, Belgium. This is the 275th time that I am beaming to you live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And yet, if somehow this is your first time, welcome to Super Chat Fridays. What is Super Chat Fridays? I'm a career coach. I used to be in human resources. I know what job search does when you're actively looking. I've been through that multiple times in different countries, in different industries. So, what I like to do during these live Fridays is sort of help you on your journey, figure out where you are. Maybe there's some perspective that I can share. Um, any help you need, just say the word. Okay, so basically, this is what I do, and I'm gonna. I just realized I forgot to put lipstick, and I feel naked without lipstick. So give me a sec. I'm gonna go. This is so embarrassing. Ah, I'm not gonna go like do this on camera because I'm gonna feel like an idiot. Give me a sec while I do the needful. This is so embarrassing, and yet, it's not. Okay, Alma. I yes, I am doing the face. I was making the face that women make when we are putting on lipstick, especially when we put on lipstick without a mirror. You're like, yeah, all of that. Okay. Welcome. How's it going? I hope you're well. And what's happening? Which part of the world are you tuning in from? If you're watching me and you're like quiet and you're lurking, what? What? Like, what's the fun in that, right? So let's get into it. Where are you tuning in from? What time is it? How's the weather outside? Tell me. Like, I actually care about that stuff. Like, I geek out on like, I hear like all kinds of exotic countries where people are tuning in, right? And if there's anything you need help with, just come in. It's a safe space. We're all friends here. And if you don't feel comfortable coming on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is much more public, let's say, create like have a Gmail. If you have a Gmail account, just go to YouTube, find my channel, find my name, you'll find my channel. Tune in from there, log in with a different name, and let's get you the help you need. All right, let's get into it. So I'm just gonna make sure that I everything is working across platforms. As always, I have to continue to do that because turns out you can't always depend on technology. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. So, how is it going? Hi there, you got questions. Let's get into it. I am excited to talk about stuff. This is not a question. Hi, Pavitra. I am the second viewer of today. Hey, awesome. Thank you for being here. I am so glad that you are learning. And what are you learning? What is the biggest takeaway that, how long have you been in our little ecosystem here? When people say I learned a lot, and I'm like, I'd love to know what. Name one thing. Like, tell me one thing that comes to mind, right? So, yeah, I look forward to hearing more from you. LinkedIn is in the house. Hi, Kasim. How are you? Good evening to you. It's afternoon here. Hey, Randall. Nice to have you join us. How is it going? Aditya, you got a question. Okay. Infosys offered me. Oh, you got an offer. Congratulations. Okay, so this is an Indian currency, right? In rupees. 11 LPA after 3 years of relevant experience. And in the first negotiation, I asked for a 10% hike in this. It's been 3 days. HR has not got back to me, and now anxiety is hitting. Oh my gosh, I understand. Um, Tell me more about this, Aditya. How did you present this when you said I want 10% more? Like, tell me more. Like, how did you like, great, I need 10% more? Like, how did you come up with that number? And how do you think you brought it about? In the sense that, sometimes it's not about what we say, it's about how we say it. How do you think this message had been? How do you think the message has been perceived? Let me know. I want to hear more about this. Okay, so that I kind of have something to go with here. But I'm going to wait for you to get back to me. But in the meantime, I will say that follow up. Say, hey, I continue to be motivated. So I look forward to hearing from you. Okay. Sometimes they're doing their work, they need approvals. There's multiple layers to go through. Never know. Okay. So, yeah, good luck with that. And in the meantime, if you have something further to add, feel free to do so. Um, this is a different question. Hi, Pratik. Okay, I thought it was Aditya. Sure, no problem. What else is happening? Hey, Adam, thank you for being here. Good to have you here. All right. Next person in the house is Pratik. Hey, Pratik, let's get into it. So, I'm confused about what I should do to grow in my career, the certifications or the postgrad. I work as a data analyst. Hmm. Listen, do you have, tell me something, okay? Do you have experience where someone says to you or a friend of yours, hey, you got this certification, you're hired? Tell me more about that. Does that happen more, or is it more on the job experience, solving real world problems that exist, whether they are tech problems, technical problems, people problems, which tend to be more than 50% of the time, right? I personally think it's the latter. You can always get more certifications. I think there's nothing wrong with certifications and education. I'm a big fan of education. Education has changed my life. Personally, here, when it comes to growing in your career, I would say put up your hand, get more, ask for more work, which is meaningful, which is visible, and it's going to move the needle in that particular business. That is what moves the needle, according to me. And of course, the underlying assumption is that you're doing a stellar job. Like you're doing a really good job. Excellence is your middle name. People remember that type of stuff. I interviewed enough people on my podcast. Every single time this comes up, this lady I interviewed yesterday, she advises the NSA, okay, the National, um, oh, this is embarrassing, Security Administration. I think that's what it is, National Security Administration. And she has a company. She's a futurist, okay, and works on innovation and simplification in companies like Novartis and Merrill Lynch and all of these companies. And something that I brought up, this question again and again, and it came up. She's like, yeah, people not just talk the talk, but they do amazing work, right? So that goes without saying. And certifications, you can always do them in your spare time, and they're always going to be welcome. You need, at the same time, the real world application of those certifications would go further for you. Okay, so good luck with that. It's not about being confused. Take a little first step. Confusion happens when we stay too long where we think we need to be. We think we need to be, not necessarily helpful, right? All right. Good luck, Pratik, with that. I'm just going to have a follow up here. Pavitra, I'm just going to bump you just for a sec because it just got back to me. The enhanced salary was low, and according to my experience in oil and gas, I kind of professionally, yeah, I hear that. I hear that. So, if you have a job in hand already, and if you think this is not worth it, then don't waste your time. You'll save everybody a lot of stress and a lot of time and a lot of energy by being upfront. And if you think they're not valuing the, you know, we all have T experience, right? T. There's breadth, there's depth. If you think you have a lot more depth and it's not being valued, then the writing's on the wall. Like, do what you got to do. I'm not going to tell you say yes or say no to them. You yourself know what is the value for something like this in the market. And if you think that it's not being matched, then you got to make a decision here. Okay. So good luck with that. Hi, Pavitra. I'm from Bangalore. Weather's good today in the midst of deciding between my next full-time job and starting something on my own, following my passion. Oh, I love that, Pavitra. This is such a good problem to have. What is your passion? Tell me more about it. Is that a question here or are you just chit-chatting? Which is fine. Which is fine. You're like brainstorming here. But what's your passion? Tell me more about that. I'm curious about that. Okay. All right. Hey Vikash, I lost my job last month, right? March 2025 was last month. I'm not getting enough calls from HR. I'm doing everything, cold email to career page, apply, LinkedIn apply. I'm doing everything. I have 1 year experience. Okay. I'm sorry. I can understand how hard this is. I lost my first job, I remember. I was like 6 months experience and I was crying. I was so upset. I was like, it's the end of the world. I was 22. Okay, I'm 46 now. And I can tell you most certainly it was not the end of the world. I'm not saying that it's the end of the world for you, but sometimes, it can feel like this big, gigantic mountain in front of you. You've tried a few things. It's been 1 month. Okay. And if it's not working, you're doing the right thing by coming here and talking about this. Okay. Um, the cold email career page. Okay, just watch out with the spelling of career. um that type of stuff is, yeah, it does work, but if you can combine that with a referral, it's even better, right? If you know somebody in that company, or you know someone who can make an introduction. Relationships in every culture in the world, relationships go a long way. Cold email, I'm curious about this because this is when you say cold email, are you sending people your CV and saying, hey, please hire me? Because that, I will tell you to stop right now. Don't do that. Okay. Start with people in your own like network, warm. Start there and saying, hey, I am looking for this and I lost my job in last month, and this is what I'm looking for. These are my target list of companies. This is the kind of work I can do. I'm very good at. Do you know someone who can help me? Would you have any advice for me? I would say do it this way as opposed to just blasting your CV cold to people who don't know you. That not everybody is responsive to that. Right? I don't know. I mean, how, if you're watching me on and you're on LinkedIn right now, or you regularly go to LinkedIn, how many of such emails do you get in your inbox? Right? Either people are trying to sell something, or they're like, I want a job. See, there's nothing wrong with that. But the problem is they're coming from their own interest only, and it's purely a transaction. Then it becomes a numbers game, and that's not helpful. So instead, you want to tap into the power, at least start with the warm network and see who can make those introductions, make an Excel sheet, and take it one step at a time. Okay? Put a target in your head. I'm going to have 2 conversations every day. I'm not talking about interviews, I'm talking about conversations where somebody can help you. If you've lived in your city or your country for more than a couple of years, you do have a network. Okay, former employees as well. So good luck with that. Would it feel like I'm lowering my position and look desperate? Are you desperate for the job? I don't think so. Ball is in their court now. It's been 3 days. I would say get back to them on Monday and see how it goes. It's only desperate if you are desperate. Forget how it's perceived. Don't waste your time. I don't have time for that. And I know you don't either. Too much of that, will they, won't they? What do they think of me? Whatever they think of you, let them. It's okay. Focus on what you're interested in doing. Hey Vikash, I'm a front end. Okay, I just answered this one. No, don't worry about it. Okay, we just talked about this in detail. So good luck with that. Panicking is not going to get anybody anywhere. I know this from personal experience. In fact, it slows everything down. Yeah, you're very welcome. Passion is playing chess. Oof. What are you thinking about, Pavitra? What do you have in mind? I'm very curious about this one. Hmm. Shubham, hey there. Is it okay to reject a previously accepted offer if we got a better offer? What's going on here, guys? It's raining offers. Yeah, people are complaining there's not enough offers, and then they're like, oh, it's raining offers. So what's going on here? I love this. When you say you accepted, was it in writing, Shubham? I mean, do you have the right to change your mind? No, of course you do. Companies do this all the time. Question is, you have to be prepared to live with the consequences. When you say yes to something, the company stops all search. If they've hired a recruiter or their recruiting team, all of that stuff we're told, no, this guy's here, Shubham's here, he signed, they celebrate. So it's happened. It's very rare, but it's happened when we were hiring that the person came back and said, actually, this happened or something big, right? But at the same time, so be prepared, okay, that it's not gonna, they may not like that. It may not go well, but doesn't matter. I want you to be selfish, focus on your career. At the same time, let's not be naive here. When you make a move like this, be prepared that they may not like it and they may blacklist you. Live with that. Doesn't matter. I'm telling you, at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is how you perceive your career, and you got to do what's best for you. So Second, you understand what I mean? It's not the first time someone's asking me. First of all, please remember this is a good problem to have. Second of all, please make sure you're making the right, like the decision, the best decision at this moment, like feels like the best decision. Don't just say yes because they checked one box on salary and that's it. Not always the right reason, unless your salary is ridiculously low and it's hard to survive. Then I get it, okay? But there's a video I have on my YouTube channel that I made about a couple of years ago, which is about should I take this offer or should I take that offer? And there are like 7 or 8 factors that I help you to decide. Give that a watch. It might be helpful. Okay. So good luck with that. Hi Bilasha. Thank you for being here. I'm glad. Welcome, welcome. I'm glad. Okay. Cool. Um just making sure everything is good. Give me a sec. Oh, okay. This is what I thought. All right. What is happening? Some messages I see are not coming across from LinkedIn. That's why I was just checking because they're on LinkedIn right now, but they're not this thing. Hi, Harsh. Thank you for being here. All right. I got a question coming up and let us get straight into it. Hi, Najam. How are you? I think I'm attracting the wrong employers. They appear relevant and have some substance too during interviews. Then a few months, that's number one, an orange flag for me. Not weeks, not days, but months. They show their true colors. Thinking to dump job search altogether. hmm And go on discovery on LinkedIn, qualify and do some gigs together. And if it aligns, then turn it into a job. What's your perspective? I mean, listen, whatever it is you perceive, it's the truth. It doesn't matter what I think. If this is the way you perceive it, Najam, then it sounds like job search is a waste of time, right? I would stay with this for a minute. I would sit with this and understand what is going on here. Why do you think you're attracting the wrong employers? What is it that's signaling to them? Um, I don't know. There's something about you and there's something about them. I can't control them. I can't. We want to, but we can't. So you need to ensure that your LinkedIn, your resume, all those touch points are aligned with the role you're interested in. Do you know what I mean? Like they have to match. And when you say wrong employers, how many are we talking about? How many times has this happened? If something happens once or something happens twice, we start seeing patterns that maybe don't necessarily exist. But do you know what I mean? Like there's an expression to a boy with a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So what's going on there? It's something because you're drawing a very significant conclusion here. And I'm just kind of nudging you to see where is that coming from, right? At the same time, I will tell you, yes, you have options. Dump job search if it's draining energy. Okay, but don't dump it because you're like, I don't know what else to do, and it's coming from a place of fear. But dump it because you're like, I could be, using my time to do something better. And this is what I want to do. Do some freelance gigs? Sure. Why not? You can always come back to a full-time job, of course, right? But it's not that that's easier. Okay, you still have to put yourself out there. You gotta sell yourself services. It's not like one comes more easily than the other. So I would sort of want to understand more there. If I were in your shoes, like what's going on? Why am I attracting that? Did I say something or do something that set off that particular perception? Do you know what I mean? That makes sense. So good luck with that. Okay. Hey SR, I'm working in a company for 14 years. I got the depth and the breadth. I'm like in my comfort zone right now. And how do I come out of it? And is it difficult for me to work in the next company? Of course not. Of course not. 14 years is nothing. And people who change careers much, much later in life. I see. I see. More depth, not broad. I see. Okay. What do you want to do? That's the question. Like, first of all, if you're getting this itch that you're comfortable. That's very good. There's something signaling inside you that, hey, maybe you're meant for more. Maybe this is not it. That's good. It shows that you're ambitious and you're listening to that voice inside. Congratulations. I'm telling you, most people don't do that. They're just so scared of that voice because they're so scared of getting out of their comfort zone. At the same time, it doesn't have to feel like you're jumping at the deep end of the pool and it's cold and you don't know how to swim. We don't have to do crazy stuff. I hate it when people say go big or go home. Why? I want to go small. I don't want to get scared. I don't want cold water. I don't like cold water, especially like on my naked body. No, thank you. Oh, that was a visual. Um, what are some things you could do to get out of the comfort zone? Can you raise your hand? Is there something you're interested in? Can you raise your hand for a project that comes up? Volunteer work. It could be a project that comes up at work. Maybe someone's struggling with something, but you know this really well. Maybe you realize you're a very good mentor or a teacher. It doesn't have to be drastic steps. It can be small little things you're doing, and you're like, oh, this is enjoyable. And then before you know it, you're like, I'm really good at this actually. And then raise your hand and like, I'd like to be doing this next. And they'll be like, yeah, we can actually see you doing that. You know what I mean? Start following your curiosity a bit. Curiosity is a superpower that most people don't think about. I have so many podcast guests who've said curiosity has been a game changer, including that podcast guest from yesterday. And she talked about she was in the University of Michigan, and she got hired at one of the biggest advertising firms worldwide, BBDO, then Leo Burnett. And I was like, what helped you to stand out? It must have been competitive. This is the early 90s. And she said, oh my gosh, it was so competitive. She just was so curious. She's like, yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I'm curious about that. Tell me more about that. We didn't use words like curiosity and authenticity. We didn't use those words back then, but you have those. You're thinking about this, but you haven't, you know, said that this is what it is. But that would be a very good place to start. If I were you, this is how I'd be looking at it. Okay? So good luck. Hmm. I got a few questions in there that I feel like I'm going slow here. Okay. Abhilasha, 8 years experience in education, went on maternity break. Congratulations on the baby. I want to change my field into data analytics. Mm-hmm. Will I get a job? Of course you'll get a job. My question is, I mean, don't have to ask me. I'm a total stranger, right? You've never met me and you're asking me, will I get a job? Listen, you've done hard stuff before. You'll do it again. I would say the easiest way to get a job now in a new field is get some experience under your belt. Courses are good. Now put those courses into action. We talked about this a few minutes ago when I was talking to someone I don't remember. But courses are good, right? But nobody says I want to hire you because you have a certification or you've done a course. They want to see what are some outcomes you've given a company. Now that can be done on a volunteer basis. That can be done like a friend of a friend has a startup. You never know. There could be some opportunity in the neighborhood where someone has a project and you're like, oh, I can help with the data part. And they're like, yeah, love to, Abhilasha, but we don't have any budget. You're like, no, that's okay. And when you're happy with my work, I want a 5-star recommendation. You're like, I can do that for you. There are many ways, right, to barter and make this happen. So that'll also help you with confidence. You're talking about this in interviews, right? So good luck with that. Okay. Chess. It burns out, becoming difficult when you switch between jobs, chess and toddler. Okay. Uh, you're multi-passionate. That's okay. I love that. Okay. 14 years. I want to grow in chess as well. If not now, when? I completely agree with that. I need tips on how to balance. Listen, I don't know. I believe balance is bullshit. Sorry. I don't know. Sometimes we give more to something, sometimes we give less to something. It also depends on the phase of life we're in right now, right? And there's so many demands on you. You got a job, you got a toddler, you got chess. Firstly, this is a good problem to have. All these things make you happy, right? I don't believe anyone is an island. It's not about doing things alone, right? Ask for help with the toddler. At work, when it gets too much, take a step back. Say, hey, I want to do this. Let's talk about this on Monday. Have some basic healthy boundaries. And if you're noticing that chess is giving you a lot of energy, then follow that. Do something with that. There are times when it'll be more. There'll be times when it's not healthy. That's okay. I don't think it's about judging you, and I don't think anybody has it figured out. Like when you look at elite athletes or chess players, I don't think it was about balance. They went into something. So if you want to be elite, start little by little, figure it out. I don't think that I don't want you to be thinking about balance right now. Focus on whatever is giving you energy right now. Take it a step at a time. We'll see how it goes. This is what I think. Okay, I'm not telling you this is the answer, this is the only way. No, never. Right? There are different ways to look at it. Whatever feels good to you. Good luck with that. Okay. Hey, Shubham, would you recommend to someone in the initial layers of their career, what would you recommend? Fast paced work environment like agencies, flexible? I don't know. I feel like it's been 20, not, I don't feel like it's been 25 years. Oh, that is dating me. It's been 25 years since I started my work. I started in the year 2000, September 2000. And when I see people who are 22 now, like I was 25 years ago, there are all kinds of people. There's people who say, I want like comfortable, flexible life because I want to do chess in the evenings, or I want to, I'm just taking an example, Pavitra, I'm not saying that's true for you, or I want to be doing my YouTube, Instagram thingy at night or weekends. Then there's people who are like, I'm all in. So it doesn't matter what it's about what motivates you. Everyone has a different, I don't want you to live by other people's values and beliefs. Okay. Because priorities are different. My 20s were all about building, like build, like learn something, build my career, build some skill sets, make mistakes. For me, it was a lot more about that. I worked really hard. Um, I was in a company where they used to do night shifts. I didn't do night shifts because I was in human resources, but we worked pretty much. I would leave the house at 8 a.m. and I would be back. On a good day, I would be back at 9:30. That was a good day. I had comfort, right? I mean, I was living with my parents. Somebody took care of dinner. Somebody fed the dog. I didn't have to do all that. But at different stages, priorities change. Maybe that's another 22-year-old will say, that's terrible. And they'll be like, wow, cancel, love, hate that, cancel her. Who am I to give you advice? What do you want? That's what matters. Okay? What do you want? Make that happen. Make it work for you. Okay. Hey, Kuyan. Casper. Kuyan, Casper. I've been an independent consultant and coach for a while now, and I want to work within a company. Oh, I like that. Do I just take the first one that comes out, or should I wait for an even longer? I'm going to say neither. I like that you're thinking about this, but I don't necessarily want you to take whatever comes up. I want you to make something happen. Let's design that for you. What does that look like for you? You've now had enough independence to know what you like and what you don't like. Why should we have to? Yes, of course, you don't need to respond. You respond to the market, but at the same time, spend a little time figuring out what you want. What are things that matter to you? What would the perfect kind of work environment look like? I think a lot of us skip too much into this is what, that scarcity, like this is it and I've got to take it. Why? Because everyone is saying that. But there's a lot of hiring happening. There's people in my group coaching program who are, almost all of them are in interviews. It's not that they're cleverer and better than everyone else. You know what I mean? So yeah, can have both. Can have both. So good luck with that. It's 2:30 now. I should be going. Okay. So I'm going to take a couple of quick questions. How do you deal with office politics? The reason provided is not meeting expectations. I tried to convey my side of the story. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. That sounds really, really stressful. You were being forced to resign? Management agrees but says they can't help. That sounds weak. My gosh, Pratik, I'm sorry. This sounds awful for you to experience right now. How do you deal? This is not even politics. This is the worst kind of nastiness that's going on. I I don't know enough about you and I don't know enough about this current context, but I'm going to say something extreme right now. I think Pratik, you deserve better than this, right? And I would want you. I don't know. It's they also. You're saying you were forced to resign. I would like you to find some other viable options. that are better for you, for your mental and physical health, it sounds like this is not the right place for you. You can't say anything to change their mind. Their mind is made up. They don't sound like good people to me. I'm sorry. Because when someone doesn't meet their performance goals, people need to talk to the manager. This is a failure on the manager's part. Managers cannot walk away scot free. The price of admission of being a manager is you got to take care of your people. And if the manager is not able to do that, like blame the performer. There's always two sides to everything. So I don't like this at all. Hmm. I would look for something quickly, build up your options. Okay. For me, it's less about office politics. For me, it's more about, dignity, workplace dignity. Good luck with that. Okay. Hey, Harsh. I'm working part time and managing my master's. Does working part time affect badly on my career? Not at all. Of course not. I would say it's the opposite, Harsh. You're someone who needs to make an income. You need to provide for yourself, your family, whatever. Why would it affect badly? I don't think so. I don't think so. Right? So good luck with that. Hey, Mark Antoine. Very great advice, to be fair, where you're not chosen. Did you practice any form of creativity while you were working? Very good question. When I started my career, I don't know how to answer that, but when I started my career, zero. No. Much later, yes. I joined the choir. It was a lot of fun. I understand. Hi, Shabir. I'm seeking our options or services which can catapult my transition from government sector to corporate sector. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah. What kind of insight would you like, Shabir? Like, how can I help? This is a very big, loaded question. I have a video on my YouTube channel on career change, and there's a 7-step process. This is a prime aspect of career change, changing industry, right? Going from public sector to private sector. This would help you. So if we are connected on LinkedIn, send me a message and I'll make sure I send that video to you. Otherwise, it's on my. If you go to YouTube, click on my videos and click on oldest. It's one of some videos of mine from 2019, and it's literally the topic is career change. So that'll help you. Okay. I would say watch a lot of that. There's a lot of videos. I have podcast episodes on this. I would say make a plan and stick to it now. Okay. So have some conversations, take action that will, like, see that video. There's a 7-step process called the vitamin framework. I would say take little by little daily action that will help you to get to this goal. Talking to people, putting your hand up for a project, volunteering, upgrading your skill set. There's a lot of stuff in there, but make a plan to make that happen because it's very overwhelming otherwise. This is a loaded question, and this can literally take like a whole video on this. And literally, I have done a whole video on this. Greetings from California. What is up? It is like 5 in the morning, Serena. Good for you. I've been exhaustingly applying for 40 positions within my field, which I have been in for 2 decades. Oh wow, that sounds frustrating to me. Any insight why I've not been selected yet? I can't say, right? Because I don't know enough about this arena. There tends to be 2 reasons. Okay. The first is that maybe you're not applying to the right roles, meaning either they're too much of a stretch or they're too easy, and people might think that you're overqualified. Maybe. The second could be that your resume, which you're using to convey why you are the right fit for the role, that resume maybe is not working hard for you. And it's not doing justice to all the cool things you've done. And it's not focused on how it can, like, how you bring Serena in and Serena can solve your problems. Maybe it's not doing that enough. I don't know. Can't say that, right? So I'm sorry, it's so frustrating because 40 positions, it sounds very frustrating. Hmm. I don't know. It's difficult to say it like this, right? I would say that if you think this could be of help, right? Check out this link to see if you want to apply to work with me on a game plan call. Okay. I'm not sure it's the right next step for you. There's a form inside to fill it out. If you're like, I don't think this is going to be right, and maybe this is not, the right time for me, that's okay. Don't fill it out. But the form itself is quite complete. And if you're like, oh yeah, it does meet a lot of my criteria, then let's get on a call and see what's going on there and do a diagnostic and see. Because the more time this takes, the opportunity cost. You're not working, right? So if you're like, if income is not coming in, then that's a problem. So we need to get you to get back into work pretty quickly. So sometimes a coach can help with that, with speed, not just accuracy, but speed. Yeah, good luck with that. All right. Yeah, Sabir, anything else? Feel free to just come back here next week. I'm here. Okay. All right. You're very welcome. Executive assistant. I see. I see. Okay. Okay. That's amazing. I hope you're active on LinkedIn. I mean, I hope you have an updated LinkedIn profile as well. That's always good. Last question. 238. Hi, Supriya. Embrace your inner maverick. Can I just say something? I had a recruiter come on one of these LinkedIn lives that I did a couple of years ago, not a couple of years, last year actually, and she said that when you have your name field, have it with your first name, last name, or whatever middle name, if whatever looks like your legal name, but adding extra words, be careful with that because LinkedIn doesn't encourage that. In fact, it's something it says that it's actually the wrong thing to do because it's not our name unless you have gone and changed your name on government records and papers, then this is not necessarily a good. I don't mean to like put you on the spot here, Supriya, but it's just I just thought about it because when I read this, sometimes struggle with clarity. Who doesn't? Who doesn't? I moved to a PM project manager role, and I recently struggled with two lady bosses while working. Do we say male bosses? Why do we say lady bosses? Oh, I don't love that. Okay. While working as a project manager because of some ego clashes. Do I need to change something from my end? I would say I can't say, right? I don't know. Um, but pay attention, listen, what's going on there. If you weren't there, like what is going on? This is rarely about you. There's some other stuff going on there. Pay attention. What is the most fundamental thing we want to know? What does this person need? What does she need? What does she need? How can I make their life easier? Start with there. In my experience, more often than not, people are difficult for the sake of being difficult. It's like over a period of time, they think there's no other option. And then it becomes a control mechanism to keep us safe, defense mechanism. Not necessarily your communication pattern. I would say focus on listening more. And when I say listen, I don't just mean listen with your ears. Listen with your eyes, listen with your senses. What's going on? What do these people need? How can I make their life easier? Pay attention to what is being said, what is not being said between the lines. And yes, if there is something that you think you can do better, maybe you came across as too strong or too weak or whatever, you know yourself, right? Then that's not easy, but go back and examine that and understand what's going on there. You never know, right? All right. So I think hopefully this has been helpful. 38 minutes been hanging live. 8 more minutes than I had expected. But if this has been helpful to you, share this. Share this with a friend. Like share this with someone who you think could benefit from chatting together. Remember, I'm live every Friday at the same time on YouTube, LinkedIn. I have been doing this for over 5 years. You're most welcome, Serena. So definitely, like, come. It's free, and it's always been free, right? So take advantage, and good luck with everything. And if you need any like more personal sort of personalized help, especially with things like job search, because that's an expertise of mine. It's something I'm really, really good at, and I have a program that I run only on this. This is literally all I do. Think about scheduling a game plan call with me. Go to superchargeyourself.com/game plan. Maybe I can help. Maybe I can't. Don't know. But um, we'll see how that goes. So, all right, good luck with that. And I shall see you at the same time next Friday. Bye for now. Devansh, I just saw a question from you. Devansh, can you post it inside? Not the chat, post it in the comments because I'm like super late now. All right.